It's weekly weird news.
Yeah.
And honestly, the existence of this specific show becomes less and less relevant with each passing week, considering how weird just about everything has gotten.
The whole world is weird.
Now, this week we've already covered New Jersey's little UFO problem.
Yeah.
The American woman who thought she could just bring a loaded gun into Australia for protection while she attends clown college. The fact that Trump may have consecrated the newly restored Notre Dame Cathedral by shitting himself in it.
Mhm.
And, oh yeah, the whole hero assassin saga.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd be scraping the barrel at this point, but no.
Mm-mm.
And we do have some updates on the Luigi Mangione situation for you today. But rather than put his face on 3 thumbnails in 1 week,
Yeah.
let's start with some news from a genre that we always enjoy, vandalism.
Yeah. Out of all the categories of criminal activity, the one with the highest likelihood of earning our proprietary cool crime distinction is vandalism. Whether it's spray painting the phrase penis man all over town, writing fuck Elon on several dozen brand new Cybertrucks, or duct taping dead fish to ATMs all over the world, we love them all, folks. And this week, up in Oregon, a new vandal has emerged. Here's local outlet KOIN6, Coin 6. The city of Bend is asking for a vandal who has been putting googly eyes on statues in roundabouts to stop. The vandalism has happened to 8 statues so far, and the city is concerned it may damage them. While the googly eyes placed on the various art pieces around town might give you a chuckle, it costs money to remove them with care to not damage the art, the city of Bend said in an Instagram post. According to the city, the adhesive used to stick the googly eyes onto the statue's surface is what can cause the damage. Officials said removing the googly eyes has so far cost the city over $1,500. They're calling it the lowest city expense of all time.
I'd like to audit this.
Yes.
I'd like to see an itemized list of every one of those $1,500.
Yeah, well, the problem is, Elliot, we had to buy $1,495 worth of scratch-offs and then 1 bottle of Goo Gone.
That's right.
Yeah.
We were hoping this would pay off for us. It didn't
Yeah.
this time, but you know,
Unfortunately,
there's always more scratch-offs.
We thought that we were going to double the city's
Yeah.
budget. And look, you got to spend money to make money.
we weren't gambling with city money, we were investing it.
That's right.
So, okay, yeah, the fact that this is supposedly costing the taxpayers of Bend thousands of dollars definitely, loses this vandal a few cool crime points.
Still, one of the smallest expenditures, I'd
Yeah.
say, for a city at all.
Uh-huh.
$1,500.
And yeah, you can't argue with the results. These otherwise forgettable pieces of public art have been transformed into something eye-catching and conversation-starting. And any conversation about something other than the sad state of the world is especially welcome at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it sounds like the people are really into it, based on this article from the Oregonian. Someone, or several people, have placed the oversized plastic items on 8 public art installations in an apparent attempt to draw some laughs. But officials wrote on Instagram the stunt risks damaging the sculptures, and separately said removing them has cost the city $1,500. The post is drawing a mixed response on social media, with many people responding in all caps that they like it. These things endure all types of weather and temperature swings on a daily basis, one commenter wrote. A little bit of adhesive ain't gonna damage it. Another commenter added, these googly eyes give me the hope to move forward each day.
Also, this is art.
Yeah, it's more art now than it was before.
And it gets the people going.
It does.
Gets them talking, gets them activated in their local community. It's doing everything that the original art should have done.
And
It just needed a little bit more.
I've never been to Bend. I have multiple friends who live there now, which is weird. But apparently it's a beautiful town.
Yeah.
And what better way to show how beautiful the town is by making sure all the public art sculptures are always like wide-eyed. Oh my God, can you believe we live in heaven?
Yeah. Most sculptures throughout history, very sad,
Yeah.
very angry, sometimes scary on purpose to scare the birds away.
Sometimes they're about the millions of animals who died in World War I without
had no
any choice of their own.
Yeah, they weren't making the decisions. But then you go have someone make a fun, turn a sculpture into something fun that really lifts the spirits of the people of Bend. And you got these busybodies down at City Hall that need to go scrape all the glue off of it. Like it isn't getting shit on by birds every day.
Yeah.
Just do it all at once. Just clean them all at one time. Save some money. But yeah, looking at the actual Instagram post, the official City of Bend account is getting absolutely roasted in the comments. And they're typing in all caps. That is legal. That becomes legally binding for the city to accept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody disliked the fact that Bend is trying to remove these eyes. Here's a few examples. Scotch tape will damage this art that endures summer weather and winter storms. Y'all are going to get roasted on this one. Nah, the googly eyes have to stay. Read the room. Leave them. Can we please be allowed some joy this holiday season? The art looks better with the googly eyes anyway. Long live the Googly Eye Bandit. All right, we do have a cool name for the vandal.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last item on our checklist that we needed to officially certify this as a cool crime.
Yep.
Every year, instead of burning down a giant goat, the city of Bend, Oregon goes and makes fools of all their statues.
Yeah.
Much to the original artist's chagrin, I'm sure, because everyone seems to be saying, well, these things sucked until someone did a very minor and
I'm
very
sure
funny.
they got paid well.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
It's public art. It's a job. You take the job.
It's essentially supposed to be background noise. It's not supposed to stand out in most cases. It's like the one we have here in our local traffic circle, the human eggs.
Yeah, those are terrible.
And someone's always toppling them
them, tagging them. Just get rid of them.
Yeah.
Take them away.
Mm-hmm.
Give them googly eyes.
That might work, actually.
Yeah.
Well, although it might cause some accidents in the traffic circle, which people already don't know how to use.
Yeah, no one in America knows how to use traffic circles. I was in Sedona, Arizona a few years back, and I guess in the past 10 years, they converted all their intersections to traffic circles, which I love. Because I know how to fucking use them, but every single one of them had skid marks just right across the middle of it because some fucking boomer just drove straight through it. It was like, what the fuck was that?
That's what's funny is they are extremely popular in Florida, the one place where old people will just drive straight through them.
Yeah.
But it does solve traffic issues. I'm sorry. It fucking works.
I think it was Florida. There was a video a couple years ago of like opening day of a new traffic circle. No, it was like an overhead drone shot of all these cars just like not knowing what to do, like going around the wrong way, like, just having no concept of what to do.
It's funny because it is the more efficient way to do things.
Way more.
It's like if you changed all of the weights of something to the metric system for one day and just got an aerial shot of Americans trying to do math. Oh, geez. But after a couple of weeks or months of doing it, it would be standard.
Yeah. No. When I've traveled in New Zealand and in Ireland, I'd be driving like 6 hours a day and never have to stop, even though I was going through dozens of intersections. The brakes barely got tapped. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, with that cool crime out of the way, it's time to move on to more updates on what many, not us,
many people out there,
many people are saying is a cool crime, despite it really pushing the boundaries of that distinction.
Yeah.
We would argue that gunning down a health insurance CEO in the street isn't itself a cool crime.
Yeah.
But it is still pretty cool that seemingly everyone who doesn't have a column in a major newspaper is coming around to the fact that our health insurance system fucking sucks and needs to change.
It has been a solid week of some of the most egregious tone policing articles.
Craven.
Yeah, actually, you're all wrong. That feeling that everyone in the country seems to be feeling and sharing stories about, that's actually really bad. And I do
They gave the United Health, the new CEO, or I guess the CEO of the entire company, they gave him an op-ed in the New York Times with and it's just like, we admit, things need to change. But then you read the article, it's just nothing. Just puffery.
Yeah. It's
no statement being made whatsoever. We see you, we hear you, we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Anyway, the general sentiment seems to be, well, I probably wouldn't have personally done what Luigi Mangione did, but I get it.
That is clearly the response for most people is just like, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's bad. As everyone can say, and I believe this with confidence, that wishing harm upon another person is bad for the soul.
It is.
But you can understand why people are like, is what it is.
Yeah. And we don't really have any updates on Luigi Mangione himself today. Just some weird odds and ends from the cultural ripple effect that this has had on American society.
Mm-hmm. I guess we should first start with some news about the search for the assassin. We joked at the time that there were potentially millions of suspects, considering how many people absolutely loathe the health insurance industry. But it sounds like the folks at TMZ took that approach quite literally and just went looking online for whoever has publicly talked the most shit on it. Here's the Washington Post. An investigative reporter at More Perfect Union, a small nonprofit newsroom focused on labor advocacy and corporate accountability, found himself on the other end of a fact-finding phone call last week when a TMZ reporter said they had received several tips tying him to the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Sean Morrow, 36, who has covered the healthcare industry and insurers such as UnitedHealthcare, shared the story of the phone call on social media Wednesday, only after authorities had arrested Luigi Mangione, who has been charged in the killing.
I feel like it's safe for me to tell the story of how TMZ reached out claiming they had multiple tips saying I was the killer, and their reasoning and evidence are pretty wild, Morrow said in a widely shared video. In the audio of the call, the TMZ reporter says that they had received information saying that Sean Morrow of More Perfect Union is the killer. That's very strange, Morrow replies. I am a reporter who covers health issues. The TMZ reporter, whom Morrow did not want to name because he said she was just doing her job, referenced his More Perfect Union reporting about the healthcare industry on YouTube and suggested that authorities were considering anybody who had been critical of healthcare companies to be a possible suspect.
Okay.
I mean, that's insane to me, Morrow says in the call.
Could be any of the 350 million people.
Yeah.
And okay, I mean, I guess based on the grainy images that we had of the shooter before the arrest, you could say that Sean Morrow looks like the killer if you squint hard enough and you really want to believe.
Take off your glasses, yeah.
But seemingly what put him on TMZ's and potentially the NYPD's short list of suspects was a video that he made last year specifically about UnitedHealthcare titled, "This company makes billions by rationing your healthcare," which YouTube's algorithm started recommending to a lot of people last week. Some people in the comments joked that Morrow was the assassin, and I guess the NYPD had so few leads on the case that this was enough to make him a suspect. Pull some of those guys out of Central Park. Have them start watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So Sean Morrow, by the way, was the one who made a fake, verified Eli Lilly Twitter account announcing that insulin is free now, which directly affected both Eli Lilly's stock price and Elon's ability to bring in ad revenue.
One of the greatest hits of the Elon era. Of Twitter.
May have, in part, actually lowered the healthcare costs of an entire nation with one tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one good thing that came out of Elon Musk's takeover of X. So yeah, he's got a long history of antagonizing the U.S. healthcare industry, but the idea that made him a suspect is ridiculous. As he told the Washington Post, my main takeaway from this is that if a journalist calmly and truthfully explaining the problems with an industry or the problems of a company with no embellishment, just explaining what the problem is directly to the camera, comes off as a threat or comes off as a motive, then perhaps that industry is the problem.
Yeah. Anyways, just for the record, neither of us is the Googly Eyes Bandit.
Yet.
It's just a story that we talked about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And that in no way means that we personally taped big googly eyes to a bunch of sculptures.
I would use Gorilla Glue so they would never come off.
Yeah, I would ensure that those eyes stay.
Yes.
But moving on to how the assassination of UnitedHealthcare's CEO has affected some of the people unfortunate enough to be paying the company for health insurance, or just paying any company for any health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with a claim denial in the midst of all this might make you think about getting a little bit fresh on the phone with the ghouls who are denying you healthcare, despite you paying them for it. But we would strongly recommend against it, because the ruling class is taking that shit very seriously right now.
They are looking for examples to make.
And one Florida woman just found that out the hard way.
Yeah.
Here's WFLA.
A Lakeland woman was charged Tuesday after police said she ended a call to an insurance company with the words delay, deny, depose. In an arrest affidavit, the Lakeland Police Department said officers were contacted by the FBI on Tuesday, December 10th, regarding an alleged threat made over the phone. Brianna Boston, 42, had reportedly placed a call to Blue Cross Blue Shield regarding recent medical insurance claims she was denied. The entire phone call was recorded, according to the affidavit. Near the end of the call, investigators said Boston could be heard stating, delay, deny, depose, you people are next. The first three words are similar to those written on the ammunition that a gunman used in the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City last week. The affidavit noted the similarities between the incidents, stating that those words have become nationally recognized as a phrase directed against insurance companies. Excuse me, those words are what you do to other people.
Yeah, that's where they came from. They weren't invented by Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
It's it is your official internal policy for ensuring that profits remain sky high.
If you, in the wake of this, will not hold a mirror to your own industry, then how are you going to get mad at other people for doing it for you?
Well, they're going to do it. They're going to try.
And they're going to use law enforcement to fucking stop all that.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, listen, it is understandable that they would treat this as a threat.
Yeah.
Even though it is a far cry from her actually saying she's going to murder anyone. But they're really throwing the book at this woman in a way that seems wildly excessive.
Look, Your Honor, this is just locker room talk.
It is.
Yeah.
She's been charged with making terroristic threats, and the judge set her bail at $100,000 because, quote, I do find that the bond of $100,000 is appropriate considering the status of our country at this point. That is an insanely high bail, especially compared to what bail costs for stuff like DUIs and domestic violence in Florida. It is a fraction of that.
Also, was he just bumping it up to be like, well, this is what you're going to pay for your premiums anyway, so you might as well give us the $100,000.
Yeah, so unsurprisingly, people online quickly rallied to raise that money via GoFundMe. Mm-hmm. But actually, it appears as of Friday night, at least according to the Polk County Sheriff's website, that she has been released without charges. So it sounds like sanity might have actually prevailed here for once, and in Florida of all places.
Actually, sanity has not prevailed. From WFLA, update, Brianna Boston has been placed under house arrest after she was granted a pre-trial release with bond. Court documents show she is also under GPS monitoring. Her house arrest allows for various conditions such as once-a-week shopping and the ability to attend medical appointments, church, and work.
Meanwhile, up in New York City, the scene of the crime.
New York City!
It had too much salsa in them.
Mm-hmm.
Someone, or multiple someones, have decided to take the sentiment that maybe it's good if health insurance CEOs fear for their lives a bit too literally for the NYPD's liking. Though once again, the response from the authorities feels way overblown. This is art.
It is.
We got yet another vandal this episode, and this one has been putting up wanted posters all over New York City with the pictures and names of the CEOs of other major health insurance companies, as well as a poster of Brian Thompson with his face X'd out. Brutal. Here's Fox 5 New York.
As Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, fights extradition to New York, wanted posters targeting healthcare executives have reportedly begun surfacing. The posters, which have drawn significant attention, were highlighted in a TikTok video posted Tuesday. They name various healthcare industry executives and include statements like, denying medical care for corporate profit and healthcare CEOs should not feel safe, printed in bold capital letters alongside their pictures. The NYPD says they're aware of the posters and advised companies to increase security measures for their executives. We are aware of the posters and are investigating these incidents, a spokesperson from the NYPD's Office of the Deputy Commissioner, Public Information, told Fox Business.
Unfortunately, there's simply no way to actually enforce or look into laws that are broken here in New York, so our hands are tied. Most surveilled city in at least the United States, we can't figure it out, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully someone from a McDonald's 2 states over will let us know who's putting up these posters.
Yeah. In the meantime, I got a lot of Candy Crush levels to beat.
I'm going back to the subway.
I'll be underground.
Yeah, where it's nice and warm and I can play my Candy Crush.
And if I do happen to see someone come in through the outdoor, they will be shot.
Yes.
Along with anyone standing near them.
Yes.
Because we're the NYPD.
Mm-hmm.
And we get things done.
Hey, we do the executing around here.
Yeah, that's right. Hey.
But in their report, they even blurred out the face and name on their photo of one of the posters, which feels kind of silly. This is publicly available information. But yeah, based on the only image of these posters we could find that is actually legible, you could definitely interpret them as a threat. It's just less of a specific threat and more just a distillation of what a whole lot of average people have been saying about our nation's health insurance profiteers lately. It's probably very cathartic for people to create art like
these
this.
Posters, like they do definitely cross the line over into
threatening.
Yeah. I would have preferred they maybe pulled back a little bit.
Yeah.
Like wanted, a wanted poster.
It says all it needs to say.
Well, a wanted poster, you're wanted for crimes. You're wanted for arrests. It doesn't necessarily mean wanted dead.
Ellie, come on. It was just 100 or so years ago that is what it meant.
Yeah. When I played Red Dead Redemption 2, I brought back almost all of my wanted people alive.
Did you drag them back behind a horse?
Sometimes.
Well, okay. Maybe that is worse than death.
Well, no, because they'll die. I would drag them a little bit. Just to tire them out. And then I'd hog time and put them on the back of the horse. Mm-hmm. And then I'd be riding into town. It'd take a while, and they'd be yapping. I'd be like, shut up! I'm Arthur Morgan. Shut up! Trying to enjoy this beautiful nature here.
Yeah.
This ain't going to be here in 100 years.
That's right.
I have tuberculosis. Blah!
Well, anyways, obviously a social movement with more concrete goals about solving this problem through means that don't involve murder that would be more productive.
Yeah.
But that's a social movement that all the powers that be, even including our nation's ostensibly left-leaning political party has actively tried to suppress. So, I mean, look, again, it is understandable that this is the only option that people think there is left. Nathan Robinson of Current Affairs published a great piece this week on the topic titled, "The UnitedHealthcare Shooter Needed a Social Movement," which we'll leave a link to below. But hopefully what comes out of this is a renewed, organized push for actual solutions with enough support that it can't be ignored. Really, a both sides issue here. We need to come together as a country and just say out loud that the healthcare industry sucks. You might have different reasons for it sucking than a bunch of other people, but in general, it fucking sucks, and it would be a lot better if we had something even closely similar to other places in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even there's a lot of different examples of how to do this. Pretty much no country with healthcare has the exact same system.
Yep.
There's a whole spectrum of it, but even in places where there is like a hybrid system, it forces the private companies to have to compete.
Yeah.
Because they can't really get away with it as much as they can in the U.S.
Yeah.
Where it's just a free-for-all.
There was a bunch of articles this week, obviously. One of them was talking about how just the perception that Americans have about access to healthcare is so broken that when the people who visit another country and get sick there...
Oh, the Hell Worlds?
They will not seek care because they're so used to just toughing it out. There was one specifically that talked about a trip to Iceland where they got an upper respiratory infection.
And they're like, we're so sorry. Because you're not an Icelandic citizen, we do have to charge you money, $25.
Yeah, and they almost didn't seek care because they're like, well, this is something you just don't go get fixed in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it would be cool if actual change happened and, that money went to improving our healthcare system.
No, they have to spend the money on private security instead, Elliot, for their executives.
Yeah, we fixed the problem. All of our executives now travel with like a dozen security guards in the Roman turtle formation, so that anyone who tries to shoot them shoots the.
No, I believe your previous hypothesis. They're the ones flying around on those drones. They've got them on their feet, like the guy that did the channel, the English Channel.
It's the only safe way for them to travel.
Yeah, by drone.
Anyways, moving on to less serious news. It's the end of the year, and that, of course, means people sharing their Spotify-wrapped playlists and rankings to let the people around them know that actually they have really good taste in music. Really interesting taste.
Oh, you don't even know, Elliot. I haven't even, and I won't share my Strava year in sport. If you think Spotify Wrapped is bad, wait till you see my Strava year in sport.
Is that a gambling website?
Strava is the fitness app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here's all that is fun. I wonder if the gambling apps have like a year in review of just like
you've lost $10,000.
Here's all the fucking bad bets.
Remember this stupid parlay you did, you fucking moron?
They should do that.
Yeah, FanDuel presents your year in sports.
Oh, wait, so how many total miles did you run in 2024?
Let me check. You can fast forward this part of the video. 1,125 miles.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. You could have run
almost across the country
to Maine.
53,500 feet of elevation.
Wow. You could have run to the moon.
That's right, baby. Start running, kids.
Yeah. It hurts.
Internet Today Run Club.
It hurts. Hurts the feet.
No, it
hurts
doesn't.
The legs.
They start working better.
And it never stops hurting.
Hey, that's kind of true, but...
Anyway, yeah, it's nice to get a little summary of your music listening habits over the past year from the most predatory fucking music streaming app on earth.
Yeah.
But it's really not that deep. It's certainly not the kind of thing that you would fake unless you're a real freak.
Yeah.
But one of our nation's elected officials just got caught this week sharing a counterfeit Spotify Wrapped.
Unbelievable.
And it has lots of folks, including his constituents, feeling tremendous secondhand embarrassment.
Wow. New Jersey House Representative and candidate for governor Josh Gottheimer, a Democrat who exemplifies a lot of the problems the party has and totally sucks for a number of other reasons that we won't even get into, shared a screenshot of his Spotify Wrapped top songs list to Twitter last week with the caption, "No surprises here. Fun fact, my first ever concert was at Meadowlands to see The Boss." And yeah, his top 5 songs are all bangers by Bruce Springsteen, which is certainly appropriate for a New Jersey politician. But in this Monday's newsletter from the New Jersey Monitor, they revealed the results of some hard-hitting investigative journalism.
Speaking of Gottheimer, the Bergen County Dem on Friday released what looks like his Spotify Wrapped, the streaming giant's annual Here's What You Listen To roundup. Gottheimer's top 5 streamed songs in 2024 were all, apparently, Bruce. But is it real? When I compared his to one I know is legit, the fonts and spacing are all wrong. Did Gottheimer's campaign fake a Spotify Wrapped to curry favor with fans of the boss? The things you do to win an election in this state. I asked the campaign about it, but did not hear back. And yeah, it is plainly obvious that this Spotify Wrapped is a forgery, and an amateur one at that. Gottheimer later confirmed that it was a fake Spotify Wrapped, saying in a statement, "This would be my Spotify Wrapped if I didn't share my account with my 12 and 15-year-old kids. While it's Springsteen all day for me, don't get me wrong, I still love listening to Taylor Swift." An innocent explanation, but still, if Josh Gottheimer's willing to lie to the people of New Jersey about something as simple and mundane as this, what else is he lying about?
I just love that this is a Dem scandal. He faked a Spotify Wrapped because his kids uses Spotify, and like the average Republican scandal is like, yeah, he was grooming children.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy sucks though.
Sure.
He's one of the guys who
It doesn't matter.
tries to block like every actual advancement toward progress in the Democratic Party. He also loves Israel.
Yeah, well, the thing is like, first of all, I don't use Spotify, but when I did, my Spotify Wrapped was fucked up because it was literally just that chill vibes to listen to while you work playlist nonstop. So there's a bunch of like just white noise artists.
Yeah. Mine this year was all like just random techno songs because I mostly listen to Spotify at the gym, and I like random aggressive techno songs.
There you go.
It's not a really accurate portrait of my music taste.
Well, it kind of is now.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't dislike the music. I only listen to bangers.
You should listen to Action Adventure by DJ Shadow. It came out last year, but it's a great
I didn't even
workout.
know he had a recent album.
Great workout album.
I'll add it to the list.
Anyways, another end of the year list that we always look forward to is the one that Pornhub puts out, which reveals all the new trends in jerking off at the computer that have emerged in the past 12 months. Weird. Not a lot of activity out of North Carolina and Louisiana, or I can't remember which ones are.
No, they're
banned.
still jacking it. They're just using VPNs.
But here's 404 Media with this year's biggest finding. Pornhub just released its year in review report for 2024, and the themes that showed the most growth and popularity this year were related to modesty, being someone's wife, and respectful sex. Seeing them appear in Pornhub's top trending spots shows how the traditional lifestyle influencers have made popular is and always has been a sexual fantasy.
Pornhub reports searches for demure rose 133%. The term mindful pleasure was up 112%, and mindful JOI is an acronym for jerk off instructions, was up 87%. Searches related to modesty also increased. The term modesty increased 77%, and the term modest MILF was up 45%. Terms like simple sex, authentic sex, and respectful sex also saw a boost in popularity this year. They attribute this to the very demure, very mindful TikTok trend that went viral earlier this year. The platform also said in its report that wives are way up and attributes it to the secret lives of Mormon wives. While wives are already hot on Pornhub, the show, in addition to the interest of traditional aspects like authentic couples and authentic sex, seemed to ignite a spark into a flame, the report says. In general, the interest in wife and marital searches spiked, with amateur wife up 21%, traditional wife up 34%, and trad wife up 72%. Searches for Mormon wife, Mormon sex, Mormon missionary, and Mormon threesome were also way up.
I mean, it's Mormons. Why stop at 3?
Yeah, Mormon, as many as you can count.
Mm-hmm. Octomormon. Anyways, most of the rest of Pornhub's year in review is pretty much the same shit as any other year. But here's something that is very 2024 and hopefully something that stays in 2024. If you weren't living under a rock this year, you no doubt heard the phrase Hawk Tua, an instant viral hit that took pop culture by storm. Sexually charged, pleasantly shocking, and all around fun, the woman behind the phrase, Haley Welch, became an overnight sensation when she answered the question, what's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time? We don't need to tell you what it means, as you no doubt already know, but searches for spit blew up. The viral sensation resulted in 10 million Hawk Tua searches on Pornhub. Again, this fascination or interest is driven by what is popular in culture, said Dr. Lori Batito. The Hawk Tua Girl viral video showcases an ordinary girl talking about sex. I believe this is the appeal. Unfiltered, candid, and spontaneous. In other words, real. The term spit on dick saw a massive increase of 233%. Searches for spitting were up 28%. And searches for a sloppy blowjob rose 36%.
Sloppy blow,
Sloppy blow, yeah. Hock to a hockey to. It looks like her flame is finally burning out.
Well, she stole all those people's money.
Well, there's two reasons. One, the lesser reason, is the crypto scam.
Yeah.
People can obviously look over that.
There's a bigger one?
The second one is that she has had a romantic interest this entire time.
Wait, she had a boyfriend?
Pookie. I think that's his name.
Pookie?
Again, I'm only seeing this content distilled through other response podcasts.
That's not fair. I listen to the show because she's my girlfriend. And if she has a boyfriend in real life, that ruins my fantasy of dating the hawk to God. People
you
are
said
so
the
fucking,
actual truth.
No, this is
that's like a classic entertainment industry.
No, it's
this
is why I mean
people were watching because they have the false fantasy of getting
every girl Twitch streamer has to like hide that shit. Yeah. Over in Korea, like the management for music labels puts it in their contract that they can't be seen publicly with any man. So it's wild. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
the idea of all of her viewers no longer having a chance is really going to drive those views down. And then also, the crypto thing. The guys who are really in it for the love of the meme, they got burned too.
Yeah.
And women, I guess, probably. I doubt they watch it, but yeah.
Anyways, we got the headlines half of the show coming right up.
Yeah.
But first, we got to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Factor. You notice how the days are shorter, almost the shortest they'll be all year. But your to-do lists aren't? Power through your busy days with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. From breakfast to dinner and anything in between, Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled and feeling your best. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenient options that you can add to your box, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. Don't let shorter days slow you down. Stay energized with America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service.
Factor lets you do you. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Because Factor's meals are chef-prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only how Factor's meals taste, but how they support your goals. And Factor is cheaper than takeout and dining out, so you can put that extra cash you save towards holiday shopping. Find guilt-free comfort foods like home-style chicken and gravy and loaded mashed potato pork chops. Feel-good vegan options like sweet potato and chickpea curry, and globally inspired flavors like Peruvian shrimp and red pepper cauli grits.
Stay on your A game with quality ingredients you can trust and quality you can taste in every one of Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals. Use your time more efficiently. So important during these dark months. Let Factor take shopping, prepping, cooking, and cleaning up off your daily list of things to do. Head to factormeals.com/50weeklyweird and use code 50weeklyweird to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code 50weeklyweird at factormeals.com/50weeklyweird to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping while your subscription is active.
Thank you for sponsoring the show. Now it's time to get into the weirdest, wildest, craziest headlines.
Starting with some holiday headlines.
Yeah, you hear those jingle bells? You hear those footsteps on the roof? It's Christmas time. It's holiday time. And it's time to start out with some weird holiday headlines. Elliot, take it away.
Grandma actually got run over by a reindeer in New York.
As the prophecy foretold.
Yeah, I guess there was a fun run in some town. And
run.
A deer came out of the woods and just knocked over a bunch of old ladies running. So grandma did get run. It wasn't a reindeer. I think it was just.
That's it. I'm buying a lottery ticket
there.
Yeah.
This made me think of that song. That is like the most bizarre song to manage.
They all are.
To manage to get into like the Christmas canon in this country. It's a song about grandma getting fucking soused on eggnog and wandering into the street and Santa doing a hit and run.
Yeah.
And the narrator is like torn between like his grief over his grandma being dead, but also like the excitement at finally having it double confirmed that Santa is in fact real.
It is been canonized, and it's the same thing as singing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells.
Well, that's like taking an
I know, but what I'm saying is like it was like a joke song of the time.
Yeah.
That is now a traditional Christmas song.
I mean,
beloved.
They shouldn't have made it slap so hard if they didn't want it.
It's like the what's his name? The Paul McCartney song. Do 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 do. Ba 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 ba. Having a wonderful
No, people
Christmas
actually
time.
liked that because the 80s were fucking weird.
Yeah. Well, look.
This woman wasn't killed by the reindeer like the titular grandma.
There's probably like at least one guy was participating in this, and he was like, "Well, that was fucking weird." Grandma literally got run over by a reindeer. He comes home, Santa's fucking his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other one. I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's a weird one.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Sarcophagus of Santa Claus possibly discovered in Turkish church. Report.
Oh God.
Ooh.
I'm sorry if any children were watching and heard that news that Santa Claus has been confirmed as dead.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna rise in a couple days though.
Yeah, they should open it up.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Let all that
Maybe-
Yuletide scent out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Ooh,
zombie
smells
Santa
like
Claus.
pine.
I love that like the actual Saint Nicholas he was a Turkish guy.
Yeah.
Probably before he came up with the whole presents thing, he'd just go from house to house with a scoop of ice cream,
Tricking
kidding
kids.
like, "Hey kid, it's Christmas. You want this ice cream? Ah, too bad.
Not for you.
You're gonna have to fight for it." And it just goes on for way too long, and the kid starts getting mad and crying. He's like, "Oh, you're being naughty. I don't know. I don't give ice cream to naughty boys. I give ice cream to patient boys."
And then there's poor kids just checking the clock. He's never gonna show up, is he? Because
Yeah.
he's just over there
He's
fucking with
taking
kids.
so long. He never gets through all the kids.
No.
Because he just can't help himself. He spends like 10 minutes hiding the ice cream.
And then the Grink comes up from behind and grabs the cone and leaves with it. The Grink.
The Grink. Santa Claus branded foreign agent in Russia.
At some point during the 50s and 60s, I'm sure that Russia was like, those damn Americans, they're thinking that we think that this is Santa Claus, but we know that it's a reconnaissance satellite.
Yeah.
But now it's probably even worse. We're probably sending our New Jersey drones over there.
So this is just some crank in Vladimir Putin's party, but he does have a point. I think he has a point that I think is valid, which is that Santa Claus is a creation of the Coca-Cola company in the 1930s or whatever that has spread throughout the world and has supplanted a bunch of the more like local tradition. Like Americans have Santa Claus. Britain up until the 20th century, they had Father Christmas. They didn't have fucking Santa Claus. They had a different guy. And then over in like some of the other countries, they got like Sinterklaas, and he's got his little blackface elves. And then
From coming down the chimney, right?
Yeah. But in Russia, they have a different guy who looks like Santa Claus, but he's not Santa Claus. His name is like Father Frost, Frosty Daddy, or something like that.
Yeah.
And they don't like that kids are more interested in Santa Claus than their home. It was like, "Oh, we got Santa Claus at home." Kids are like, "No, I want
Total cultural
the real
victory.
one." Yeah, that is the
Total
the culture victory.
cultural victory.
They're mad about it, and I see their point. But
Sure.
hey, what can you do?
Vladimir Putin saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
He did. So he had him fall out of a window. Santa Claus has fallen out of a
We
window. in
regret to
Russia.
inform you that Santa Claus has fallen out of a chimney. He did not survive the
You'd
fall.
think he'd know how to do that.
Nope, not in Russia. They got different chimneys
They
there.
got in Russia, chimneys do this.
Yeah.
Russia sends 100 elite goats to North Korea.
Are they the greatest soldiers of all time, or are they the actual animal?
They're actual goats,
Mhm.
but they are the greatest of all time. They're goats.
It's the goat from Goat Simulator.
yeah.
This thing's got superpowers.
I don't know what they're dairy goats, so I assume they just got really tasty milk.
Yeah.
But
Take it straight from the source, Mr. Yoon.
really good cheese. But I don't know. I don't know what makes a goat an elite goat, or like how are they breeding them to be elite, or do they?
I would think that the elite goats are the ones that eat entire tin cans in one bite.
I'd call that elite.
Yeah.
I don't know what that does to the milk, but I'm not interested in the milk.
Mm-mm.
I want to see them go through those cans.
It is fun.
Crunch, crunch.
No, those are my good cans.
It has become like a weird little thing. I mean, it's not weird. It's pretty cool. Where like instead of hiring gardeners, a lot of people, at least in Southern California, just like hire a goat.
It just eats all the
Hire a goat to just come over and hang out in their backyard for like 2 hours, and it does the job of a lawnmower and also leaves really potent nitrogen-rich manure all over the place, and doesn't stink everything up and make. And it's
To
not
that
fun.
end, I have more than 2 friends now that have chickens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. If I wanted to do it by the letter of the law, there's like a tiny, tiny spot in my yard where I'd have to put it.
Yeah.
Because it has
So
to
they can roam.
Yeah, but the coop has to be like
Yeah.
a certain distance from any domicile.
Yeah.
And I did the measurements, and there's like just one point in my backyard where it actually would happen. Having said that, I have multiple neighbors who just have fucking chickens, like living in their front yard, and they don't and no one cares. I've never heard of anyone getting in trouble for it.
My friend who I just visited, who got a couple months ago, is like, never paying for eggs ever again.
Yeah, and the chicken manure is very
They
rich.
eat all the bugs.
Yeah.
Buy some chickens.
My biggest, actually, the main reason I haven't done this is because I'm pretty sure the second I let them out, my dogs would grab them by the neck and just tear them limb from limb.
But then you got a free meal.
Well, yeah, I guess. The tiniest wing ever. I'm sorry.
Crying as you eat it. You're delicious. I wish you could taste how you taste. North Korea decries dictatorship in South in wake of martial law attempt.
He just got impeached this morning, by the way.
Yeah, that is.
He's out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But
he said he was sorry. So what the hell?
I know. Hey, what? It was a goof.
But it's funny, like giving North Korea a reason
like,
to just be like, look at this.
They have a point, and it's the entire history of like the divided Korea. It is kind of funny how Americans are just like, yeah, obviously South Korea the good guy and North Korea the bad guy, because like for most of its existence,
very corrupt.
South Korea has been extremely corrupt, literally a military dictatorship. Like it's, I mean, you can do the pros and cons of each side, but like it's only in a very brief window of time that like South Korea has been what anyone in the US would consider like a normal fucking country.
Mm-hmm.
And even still, they're impeaching like every other president they have.
Well, they're going to find the right one, which is honestly what we should be doing too.
Yeah,
if you don't follow the law, you get arrested.
I'm so jealous of other countries that like actually prosecute their lawmakers. Like that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And we just can't do it here.
It's just not going to happen.
When you get elected to office, you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want.
They even made that into a law recently.
They did.
A Macy's employee who hid $151 million in delivery expenses was trying to mask initial mistakes, sources say. Oh, Butterfingers.
Yeah, we talked about this recently, and it was so confusing. It was like, why? And yeah, it sounds like they fucked up a spreadsheet and then noticed their mistake later and was like, do I tell my bosses that I fucked up, or do I simply do a little voodoo mathematics here and make it go away? And then they're like, come back later like, oh no, I made it worse.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'll just hide this, and I guess it just snowballed into $151 million.
Things happen, guys.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh well.
Yeah. And to be fair, I mean, this is clearly a crime, but for the company it was beneficial because it really it kind of cooked their books.
It wasn't. I don't know if it was a crime though. I mean, it was because they didn't steal the money. They just made the money disappear from the books.
But it benefited their bottom line.
Yeah. But I mean, like obviously the SEC is going to be very interested in this, but from the sound of it, it was just this one rogue employee.
Oh, like they're not going to, but the
covering
employee,
their ass. Yeah. And I don't know. It's interesting. I think this time I have really learned my lesson. Cork man with 59 previous convictions tells judge.
Nah, let him get one more.
I think this time I really have learned my lesson.
Nah, we need one more conviction. 60. A nice even number.
Yeah, throw that man in the jail, but they spell it Gaol.
Mm-hmm.
Gal. It took me so long. I was like, what the fuck is a gal? They're like, oh, that's just how they write jail. Fucking weird.
A gime. Oh, a gime. Okay. Why you should take a fart walk after a meal. Hey, cool. I'm already doing that.
Yeah, I take a fart walk after everything.
There's a lot of cultures that go on walks after every meal.
Yeah, they said it's not just great that you're not stinking up the house.
Get out there, get your body digesting right.
Yeah, no, it's really good for your metabolism and digestion. It's good all around. You should take a walk after a meal.
And the best part whenever you want
is you get all the gas out. You can clear it out. It's not going to sneak up on you later.
Nobody's the wiser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just go on walks in general. I have like really, really bad ADHD. So even when I'm here writing, I'll just go on a couple walks. It's like taking a dog on a walk.
Take yourself on a walk.
I got to get out the extra energy.
Mm-hmm. And then you're peeing on the bushes.
Yeah.
Shitting on the lawns.
My day will come.
What? I'm on a walk.
I will be in a Weekly Weird news headline about shitting on something at some point. It got real close during the marathon last weekend.
Yeah, you do long distance running long enough, eventually.
There were no porta potties on the course. It was like every fucking 5 miles,
They
maybe.
did that on purpose.
There was like one every 5 miles.
Some freak fetishist did that on purpose. Yeah.
I was about to explode. I got to one just in time and still did under 4 hours.
God.
Yeah, that's right.
Jeremy Allen White joins Star Wars film The Mandalorian and Grogu as Jabba the Hutt's son. I don't know what to do with this. Like, it's so funny and so like franchise brained to cast like one of the hot, like, first of all, a great actor,
Yeah.
a great actor who like people find extremely attractive, who's like in great shape, a real performer, and just cast him as the voice apparently of just a blob.
Yeah.
A blob who like,
I'm sure he's happy to take that check.
sure, I'm sure the money's great. They always, like so many great actors and directors, they're like, yeah, you know, whatever, one for me, one for them. But like,
this has been around for so long. Like in the 90s, it was called the Disney retirement plan.
Yeah.
You'd be a comedic actor who would hit their 40s or 50s and start doing family movies because A, the paycheck is consistent and great. B, your kids can watch you in what you're doing.
yeah.
So this makes sense. It's just obviously weird to be like, yeah, you're a fucking blob.
I'm just wondering, like, because when Disney bought the franchise, they retconned away all of the extended universe stuff. So, like, I haven't been following this stuff too closely, but like, have we seen any other Hutts? Like, it would be a great reveal if they just revealed that Jabba is personally just extremely obese, and every other member of his family looks normal.
Yeah, like a new.
Oh, that's just my Uncle Jabba. Yeah, he likes
fat piece of shit.
He's a fat piece of shit. He's morbidly obese.
They should do another Star Wars holiday special, but it's about the Hutts.
Yeah.
But they still talk, and there's no closed captioning, and you have no idea what they're saying. The funniest part of that entire special is just the fact that when it aired, people must have been saying, "What are they saying? Why are there no closed captions?"
Oh, the Chewbacca's
Chewbacca's family,
the Wookiees, yeah, no
just talking to each other. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they're having a really interesting conversation.
Would love to know what's going on.
Yeah, but I'm glad I don't.
You're a slut. Judi Dench reveals Parrot's pet name for her.
Dame Judi Dench.
It's Dame, not slut.
Yeah, she adopted this African gray parrot a few years back, which is, I believe, the most talkative species of parrot. They also live fucking forever.
It's got the gift of gab.
Yeah, she just finds it delightful. The bird just calls her a slut all the time.
Why aren't we getting these birds for retirement homes?
Yeah, I think they'd crack people up.
What? Hold on. Why are we spending so much time, energy, and effort on artificial intelligence when we've got birds who will sit there and talk to old people?
Yeah. Bird can be just as much of a friend as an AI.
Probably more so because it has eyeballs that actually look at you and react and appear as though they might have a soul behind them.
And it makes cool sounds.
And the bird's not going to shut down when the company becomes insolvent.
No.
The bird might fly away.
Well, you just keep the wings clipped.
I guess so. But yes, we should start putting birds everywhere instead of...
Cool birds. I mean, look, Los Angeles is already full of parrots, but they don't talk, they just squawk.
They just squawk.
They're loud as hell.
Yeah.
I think that started with just like one pet shop, like accidentally releasing some birds.
It is funny. One of the only like lounges in LA, like Amsterdam style lounges where you can go smoke, has talking parrots.
Oh, what?
The funniest possible thing to have at a weed lounge.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's all outside, so it's not like they're sitting in smoke all day or anything.
Yeah,
That's a big outside area. But yeah, people just go up and just stare at them, and they'll be like, "Hello." It's
what?
It's a gas.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
That's clever.
Anyways, that's it for today's episode. We will be back very soon for some more news. But guess what?
You missed it.
You missed it. You're the one person out there, you didn't buy one of these? Yeah, too bad.
Too late.
Too bad. Buy them off someone that's reselling them on eBay, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you can't buy those anymore. Tough shit. And, but you know what you can do? You can, and we haven't even asked this in like a month because of these little guys.
Yeah.
Click the join button.
Yeah, you can join.
Yeah, say you bought one and you're like, you know what? I just got my Christmas bonus. I want to give more of it away. Click the join button.
Gift yourself the honor of
Yes.
being a channel member
That's right.
of this illustrious channel.
So click the join button, click the thank button, but those cost money. If you really just want to help out, click the like button below the video.
The most important.
Also, leave a comment, talk amongst yourselves, talk about anything we talked about today, talk about putting parrots in retirement homes.
Yeah.
See if I care. But if you want to watch more content, we got UFOs in New Jersey and we got the rundown on Luigi Mangione. Check both of those videos out and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.